Good evening, friends. With Apala from Parbin Singh. The lithosphere. It is the stony part of the earth. Litho means stone and is a in a broader sense. Broader sense includes all the solid materials composition the composing the earth from surface downwards. In the detailed study of the interior of the earth, however, the body of the planet is subdivided into three specific layer or zones: the crust, the mantle, and the core. The term lithosphere is now understood to include only the uppermost cell of the earth, the crust, and a part of the second layer, the mantle, up to which the materials exist in a definite solid state. Following is just an outline of important feature of the three layer. A slightly detailed discussions of this topic is reversed for a later chapter. The crust. It is the uppermost solid cell of the earth which have has varying thickness in different areas of as follows: under the ocean 5 to 6 kilometer, under the continent 30 to 35 kilometer, under the mountain 60 to 70 kilometer. It is obvious that when compared with the radius of the earth 730 kilometer on an average, the crust make just an insignificant part of the structure of the earth. It is at best analogous to the skin of a big sized apple. Or regard the chemical composition of the crust analysis made by Clark, Washington's Goldsmith, and Bloderwatt. I hear not clear the pronunciation, so please clear it yourself. On rock samples from different geographic zone have all shown that silica SiO2 is the most dominant component. Its value lies above 50% by volume in the oceanic crust and above 62% in the continental crust. Alumina Al2O3 is the next dominant component. Its values varying between 13 to 16%. Iron oxide Fe2O3 8%, lime calcium oxide 6%, sodium oxide 4%, magnesium oxide 4%, potassium oxide 2.5%, and titanium oxide 2%. Titanium oxide 2% are the other component making the crust of the earth. The solid aggregate that make the crust of the earth is named as a rock. This is undoubtedly the most common terms used in geological literature and is broadly synonymous with the word stone. The entire crust is made up of different type of rock. The mantle materials making the earth becomes quite different in properties at the base of the crust. Professor S. Mohorovic, a seismologist of Yugoslavia, first discovered this fact in 1904. This depth below the surface of the earth at which a striking change in the property of the materials is observed has been named as the Mohorovic discontinuity. In geological literature, it is often referred as M discontinuity or simply as Moho. The materials below Moho forms a nearly homogeneous zone till a depth of 2,900 km is reached. At that depth, another striking change is observed in the quality of the material on the basis of the seismic waves reaching there. Hence, the mantle is that zones within the earth that starts from M discontinuity and continues up to a depth of 2,900 km. In this here figure, describe mantle is made up of extremely basic material called apply ultra basic. First of all, we here see clearly in generalized structure of the earth not to scale. 6,371 kilometer, inner core 4,850 kilometer, outer core 2,900 kilometer. There is distance you see clearly. Mental 100 kilometer, 35 kilometer, crust, hydrosphere and lithosphere. So you don't forget to draw this picture in your copy or register. Extremely basic material called aptly basic, that is very rich in iron and magnesium but quite poor in silica. This zone is characterized with a high density that increase with depth. The material of the mantle is believed to be variable viscous in nature, so much so that the overlying crystal block can virtually float over it, of course at a very slow rate and in a broader sense of the terms. Many of the most important geological processes such as volcanism, seismic activities and formations of mountains, orogeny, are believed to originate in the mantle. In fact, very little is known as yet about the mantle because as have not yet been able to pierce the earth up to actual depth of this zone. All observation about this zones are of a indirect nature, mostly based on the behavior of a seismic wave shock waves released during an earthquake from their passage within the earth. These studies show that the mantle also have a complex layered structure like the crust. It is also sometimes distinguished into upper mantle, middle mantle or lower mantle core. It is the third and the innermost structural cell of the earth, as conclusively proved by the seismic evidence. It starts at a depth of 2900 kilometer below the surface and extend right up to the center of the earth at a depth of 6,370 kilometers. The core remains a mystery in many ways. Within the core, the physical nature and composition of the material is not uniform throughout its depth. Further, it has a very high density at the mantle core boundary above 10 gram per cc, but despite such a high density, the outer core behave like a liquid towards the seismic waves. The liquid like a core extending from a depth of 2,900 kilometer about 4,800 kilometer is often termed as outer core. The inner core starting from 4,800 kilometer and extending up to 6,370 kilometer is of unknown nature but definitely of a solid character and with properties resembling to a metallic body. According to a widely favored views, the core may be made up of iron and nickel alloyed in some yet unknown manner. This view gets some support from the composition of meteorites that are often recovered from different regions of the globe. The meteorites are, as already mentioned, are wandering fragments from the interior of some other destroyed planet that enter our atmosphere as meteors from time to time.